It's like a screenshot, but I'm just on pause. Ha ha. All right. And time for the intro with no intro music because I have just discovered that somehow I have accidentally deleted the theme song from my computer. Yes, yes, audience. I am the tech wizard who deleted a file unknowingly. When did I do it? Who knows? There you have it. My expertise in a nutshell. I know stuff, but sometimes it just goes away. So, no theme song today. But I should probably still do the intro just in case you're new and you stumble across this video and you're like, what the heck is this lady talking about? Anyway, my name is Andrea, and I am the owner of the Quilting Shed here in Hanwell, just outside of Fredericton, New Brunswick. Also, I have a very weird sense of humor. You're probably going to laugh, so maybe go pee first and then come back. Okay. What have you got? I got my list. I made my list this morning, but I got my list. Yes, if you were just joining us, hello, whoever you are. What else have we got? We've got tea. I hid some chocolate on myself in the house the other day, and I have ADHD, so I don't know where I put the other piece of chocolate. I will find it later. On the upside, I was cleaning under the sales counter a week or two ago and managed to find a tiny little bite-sized Snicker that Emma hid on me for Halloween. It was like an egg hunt, but Halloween candy, so I would eat all the chocolate at once. And it only took me 6 months to find the next piece. 5 months, 4 months, whatever. Who's counting? Not me. I'll lose track. Anyway, so last week I said the creative dam burst, and it continued on, and it is continuing on. Not today. Kind of tired. This daylight savings time is kicking my butt. I wish I had a little beep sound because I hate going back and editing things, or I totally put in a beep. Censor myself. No, this YouTube video is not safe for kids because I might swear. But if you're my grandkids, you're totally fine. Yeah. So the other thing is tomorrow is St. Patrick's Day. It's St. Patrick's Day week. Yay. I bought this shirt at the Dollarama because it was a $4 shirt that you're going to only wear once a year. And it says, let the shenanigans begin. And I mean, it has one of my favorite words on it. It's for St. Patrick's Day. It's Irish. It's got clovers. Hello. No 4-leaf clovers. But I had to buy it. So it is also white. Yes, mother, I bought a white t-shirt, but you'll be happy to know I ate breakfast and then got dressed. And then as soon as the video is over, I'm going to change again so I can wear this properly tomorrow when I have to go out and stuff. Good morning, princess. Love the new shirt. See, my mom loves the new shirt. Told ya. I know it's white. I have this. Yeah, none of us in our house or family can own white clothing because it's only white ones. At the end of the day, it's not gonna be white. So yeah, St. Patrick's Day. St. Patrick's Day fabric. $4 for a fat quarter for a last minute project. These cute little shamrocks. I know, it's great. Yeah, the time change. Kathy doesn't like the time change either. Oh, good morning from Germany. Hi. I know way too many people overseas. Okay, so yeah, this weekend, I had to clean stuff. It drove the husband crazy. You just come in the room, see what I'm doing, turn around, walk back out. Yep, just save yourself, honey. Tie-dye fixes so much. Heidi, I meant to tell you, Ron bought a tie-dye hoodie for himself. It's only blue, but he looks super cute in it, like he's Tony Hawk, like some sort of retired skateboarder expert. But older, doesn't do it anymore. Just wears the merchandise. So where was I? Who knows? I know where we were. I was going through my stash. I was cleaning up. My sewing room / office was completely insane because what happens when you clean one room is the next room is like total chaos because you threw everything out of one room to make that room clean, and then you got another room that's filthy because you don't look at my kitchen. So yeah, I went through my stash. I went through old projects. I wanted to see what I had for any projects that I had in progress so I could edit them, see if I still wanted to do them, see if I didn't want to do them anymore. And I came across a bunch of, I lost it again. Is it in my pocket? No, not my pocket. I have a bobbin in my pocket, but not the thing I'm looking for. So what I do sometimes when I found it. What I do sometimes when I'm making a quilt, you have that spot, the technique where some people call it snowballing, but you have a block or a square or a rectangle, and you take another little square, you put it in the corner, you draw a diagonal line, you sew in the line, you cut off the extra, and you flip over the triangle. You know that technique, the sew and flip. Well, the extra bit that you cut off, before I cut it off, I sew a second line a little bit away, a little less than a half an inch, so I could leave skimpy little seam allowances. So that's the corner that I cut off. Haha. I know it's impossibly tiny. I don't really do this anymore. This was a few years ago, but I found the bag. It was one of those little Ziploc snack bags. That's how tiny it was. Found the bag, and I had thank you past me for I had pressed all these half square triangles open. So I have on my design wall, which you cannot see behind me because it's in the other room. Huh. One of these days, I'm going to change the location. It's going to screw us all up. Um, so one of the things I've been doing with all these little bits, since they're all half square triangles, and I found like at least 4 bags of them. You know what I need to do? Not just make these into just wall hangings or whatever, because I do like quilted wall hangings, and I like to make my walls pretty, change them around. But they also serve in the shop in the store shop. They also serve in the shop to act as an educational tool because people are like, well, I see these half square triangles. What can I do with them? So I'm in the middle of doing all these little projects with half square triangles. Now that's a pinwheel block with a half square triangle. I've got something planned for all these, and yes, it is small, but it's fine. It's only going to be like 9 blocks. That's all I had left. But we're gonna work magic with that. So that's what I did, and I frantically. It's really hard for me to quilt quilts between customers when the shop is open because the long arm is downstairs. So can't run back and forth because can't hear nothing because it's really loud. And Ron's working down there, and maybe some days he can't work when it's long arm in the background. But it's a nice droning sound for him, so it's fine. But my sewing room / office is right next to the shop, and it's just down the hall. So if you see me coming down the hall, I was just in the office, either on my laptop doing paperwork, it's working in spreadsheets, so totally interrupt me, please. Or I was sewing, same thing. I pick a lot of mindless things. So I think this was Monday. I had another bag of half square triangles that I found, and I still haven't quilted this quilt top, but you'll see it someday. I wanted to use up all the purples and yellows in my stash. And again, this was the leftovers with the sew and flip technique. And I put all these half square triangles together in this nice medallion shape just to show people. Look, I even had extras for the corners. Spent some time figuring out which way I wanted them to go. So there, it looks pretty. And honestly, it is literally the same block as this, just arranged differently. I know. A lot of new quilters, they need to know these things, that it's all easier. It's all smoke and mirrors, people. This is a one block, and we just move them around and make magic. Make the magic happen. Like this other sample with half square triangles that's been hanging in the shop. I want to do more with this, but for now, I added a border, and doesn't it look very, very nice? The thing I have planned for this, though, is to scale it up so it's queen sized. So each one of these blocks will be like 10 or 12 inches and make a pattern so you can make a queen size quilt that looks exactly like this, but big. I know. Crazy, huh? That's one of the ideas I get. And you've seen me show this quilt, which I did get quilted, still didn't get it bound, about somebody else's scraps. I had 3 leftover blocks. Put them together in a tiny little runner like this. It'll go in a nice little, like, above the door space, between some doors, nice skinny wall space. But again, this is the not the drunkard's path. It's some sort of block, but it's also made with these like triangles, not half. You could do it with half square triangles, but these are flying geese. You can change the color of these in the middle, but it's a nice little tiny example of what you can do with triangles. I know. It's wild. And then I had totally forgotten I did these. This must have been a good 10 years ago. I swear to God, my mother's going to go, oh my God, I remember those fabrics, even though they're all blue. Remember when I did this? I was trying to use up all the blue scraps. So this has got all kinds of different qualities of cottons and polycottons and broadcloth. And I keep meaning to look up broadcloth. Broadcloth is actually a different type of fabric. It has some polyester in it. I notice a lot of the older ladies, they come in and they ask for broadcloth. What they really mean is they just want a solid cotton. So we that is just, a few different types of blocks in a sampler. Just gonna whip that up. Gonna square up my wonky sewing. Just get it done, hang it on the wall. There you go. This one's going in Emma's room after it hangs in the shop for a bit because Emma claimed it. I just whipped this up. Totally just whipped this up. No problem. It did take me a few days though, in amongst everything else. So most of these, yeah, I have pieced since last week. Although I will say, well, this one's fully pieced since last week. Some of the rest, just slap a border on or whatever. I just felt like sewing, man. You can't not sew if you feel like sewing. You might also remember a while back I did the fancy fox pattern from Elizabeth Hartman, which we do carry. And I very luckily found some pieces of a block that wasn't finished. English is my first language. Thank you for asking. So I finished the block and I had lots of leftover background fabrics and I was very happy. And I'm like, it's just a single block. It's nice little wall hanging, a little something somewhere just to show people things, whatever, or look pretty. And I like foxes. And then from across the room, I noticed it's completely missing the forehead piece. So there is supposed to be a rectangle block right in between the eyes and ears here. So the ears should be up a little higher. So I just call this Derpy Fox. He's my Derpy Fox. Emma says maybe it's a baby fox. But this is not a properly constructed block from the pattern. It's missing a whole piece. And do I have more of this fabric? No. Did I make it work anyway? Yes, I did. Little Derpy Fox. I'm just going to hang him up. So yeah, I mean, you can do stuff like that too. You can use them for sample. You can use them for practice. I didn't bring it out here, but I also have like a 12-inch star block that I found that was just in one plain sort of batik color. And some of the silly moon rulers I haven't tested yet. So I'm going to test it on this block and make it a wall hanging. So it's doing double duty for me. Quilt smarter, not harder. The other thing I did was I had gone through my stash and cut like a whole tray of 2.5-inch strips. I just grabbed all this fabric I couldn't stand looking at anymore. Kind of the way I made Ron's quilt. There was a lot of this fabric. And I just cut 2.5-inch strips out of it. If it was a fat quarter, I still cut 2.5-inch strips. If it was a wonky piece, I still just kept going as long as it was long enough to like do something with. I just made it work. And what I started to do was one of Bonnie Hunter's ones where she just sews them all together and then cuts them and then like this and then you cut them again and then you shift them and you get like almost like a trip around the world, but it's really scrappy and you just go in like 16 blocks. So I'd started it, but it's a hot mess as far as I'm concerned. Not sure how I feel, not really feeling it. So I put that away for a while and I dug it out again on the weekend. Like I said, I'm just rambling here. Geez. I've even shown you the new stuff. So I had seen somebody else's scrappy quilt. So I made these blocks. I cut the strips a different way, like you sew two. Very similar to the rail fence, except you just use 2 strips. And I had done that yesterday, and I stuck it up on my design wall. And still, it sort of goes like this. Still not feeling it. So it's going in the scrap bin, or if my mom wants it, or if somebody's making charity quilts, feel free. Because while I was cleaning out all of that stuff, I tossed some more scraps in the remnant bin. So the remnant bin is full again of all kinds of goodies. Speaking of goodies, they're like, shut up, Andrea, get to the new stuff. I know. Speaking of goodies, I did get some new things in. I do have a lot of hand quilters coming in, and you will be happy to know that I have the Gutermin hand quilting thread. Some people are very happy with it. It's nice quilting thread. This is for hand quilting. So I have lots of neutral colors of that. Somebody had requested a few different colors because it's hard for them to find. So I have a lot of that. I restocked some needles, some regular sewing needles. I had to restock these. I can get these from a couple of places. One place was out. You get it from the other place. Oh yeah, and I didn't look through this box much. It just came yesterday. 120-inch measuring tapes. They're handy. And for some reason, I had a lot of calls for, do you have any light bulbs for sewing machines? So I just got them in. They're cheap. They're like $4 light bulbs. So they had a bunch of generic ones. So I just got them in. So if you're looking for a light bulb for your sewing machine, I might have one that fits. Don't know. The shop, Heidi wants to know if the shop has a scrap swap. We have a scrap bin, a remnant bin, and sometimes people arrange swaps and meet here. But honestly, I have taken in scraps that people didn't want and let other people know. So we sort of have an informal scrap swap. If you're looking for scraps, we got you. If you want to get rid of scraps, come see me. Come see me after class. There's that. I have to call somebody whose name I can't remember right now, but they were looking for the Kona denim. I got that. I got you. I got that whole bolt in. The other thing that's very exciting before I get to the new fabric is we have some new patterns in from a local designer called Karen Neary. She's in Nova Scotia. You may have heard of her. I know Jeannie K in the comments loves her to pieces. Karen is very talented, and it has been on my list for a while to carry her patterns. Now, I don't have all of her patterns. I have some of her best-selling ones. She has posted just this morning about the log cabin triangle trees. So go see Sew Karen Lee Created. I will leave a link to it in the comments later. But yeah, we've got her. These patterns are roughly, some of them are slightly different prices, but they're roughly around $15. You are supporting a fellow Atlantic Canadian with your purchase. And I want to carry more patterns like this from people who are local designers. I mean, we should, forehead, and people are talking. We should support our local designers because they're very, very talented. We have a lot of talented people here, and they go right under the radar sometimes. Yeah, I want to give them a bit of a voice. Karen's patterns are probably not for beginners, but don't let that intimidate you. This one's got a lot of curves. She does make it really easy for you, though, and she's very personable and open to questions. Haha! Carrot table runner for Easter. It's coming up. This is foundation pieced greenery, but otherwise very easy piecing. Bunny approved. Yeah, if you have a lot of orange in your stash, that's a good one. It's cute too. And another placemat and table runner that's very cute. I like her stuff because it's very different. This one was cute if you know some pianists. This is called 4 Grand. It makes grand piano style placemats, and then you can place them all together in the middle of the table as a table topper. And the other reason I really like her stuff is she's a fan of the New York beauty block like me, and there's 2 of these, Maritime Beauty and the New York Roundabout again. Mostly smaller table runners and things, but very, very beautiful, nice projects that you can really sink your teeth in. I just remembered that somebody yesterday wanted to work on something that was not easy. These would be right up her alley. Aha! She needed something to sink her mind into. Yeah, those would do it. So KarenNeary.ca. So Karen Lee Created on Facebook. Give her some love if you haven't already. Swing by and see her patterns here at the shop. She's from Nova Scotia. It's awesome. Let's support one another in our local quilting community. Time for another sip of tea. And they're talking in the comments about LED light bulb strips for your sewing machine. I haven't done it yet, but I probably should. On to some new fabric. The boring stuff first. Lots of people looking for flannels for some reason, which I do have a nice selection of flannels, but the big gaping hole in there is anything pink for little girls. Some little girls like pink. Hate to be stereotypical, but there it is. We have some nice white flannel with little pink whales on it. From a distance, they look like helicopters. Your call. That's flannel. If you're looking for backs for a baby quilt, there's that one. And there is also pink flannel solid. Does the trick. Those I think are both 15 a meter. They're not on the website because the shop has been busy and I haven't had time to do the paperwork. The other thing I got in was, this is from a collection and I didn't get the whole collection. I just got this section because they're a nice, not quite what I would call a blender, but something you can mix in. It's blender-ish. It's blender-ish. You can mix these in with other things because it's just got these little hash marks on them. It's a little bit directional, but honestly, you start throwing this in, it's not going to matter too much if they're all turned. So there's this nice foresty green. This is partly why I got these. I got 11 different colors. Most of them are neutrals. They're in a box around the corner. But this is like that rusty orangey red. I don't know if you noticed, but an updated 70s color palette is coming back in style. And people are on the hunt for their granddaughters or, younger daughters, millennial aged people who are really into the current color schemes, maybe a little boho. If you don't know what that means, come see me. I got stuff in the right color scheme. There's like this washed out navy too. I know it's still in the bag. But these and this mustard, and there's some lovely neutrals and a peachy pink, and the ones that are like that are popular. That's why I got this line. But they're nice blenders, and they do have some of the older, dustier colors that aren't bright. They're totally not in my wheelhouse, but I finally got some in, and it'll probably help match some of those older fabrics that you have in style too. In stash, not in style. I can't even speak this morning. You don't care. Somebody please send me chocolate. The other thing I got my grubby little hands on, and I was so excited. This came out. This is a reprint of stuff that came out like 10 years ago, and I loved it then, and I still love it, and I managed to get some. This is from Andover, from Allison Glass. I love her. Her stuff is really, really bright. That's why the previous fabric I showed you was all muddy. It's totally not in my wheelhouse. But I got some of the Allison Bright Art Theory. This is the rainbow critters and stuff. Look at all those cute little symbols and little rainbow bits. Really, you start cutting this up into bits. I mean, you could make a whole quilt out of just this and it would look great. This is the Art Theory print. And the other one, I swear to God, if I say one more time, I want to make a bag out of this, I think my husband's going to just get up and leave the room. But she came out with this really gorgeous, this is a panel. There's two of these, slightly different. Big circle, same elements as the previous print I just showed you, just spread all out in this nice coloring circle. It's gorgeous. If you have it, I'll probably dig up some links for you to see what you can work with. And the fabric, of course, is awesome feeling because it's Andover, and of course, it's very high quality cotton. We like good stuff here. We do. And I'm getting down to the end of my list. Okay, I'll struggle with that later. It's coffee time. So that's what we're doing. Let's check. We did that. We did that. We did that. We did that. I did everything on the list. Wow. So proud of me. Ooh, Mom says those colored circles would be great in a quilted jacket. That would be insane, like on the back of something. Or if you're into upcycling or remodeling clothing, you could applique that circle onto like the back of the jean jacket and be like one of the super cool kids. I know, you can get down with your bad self. I'm telling you, you follow the quilting ladies, we know what's up. We are on the leading edge of decent fashion. Honestly. So yeah, so what am I doing today? Probably have to do some paperwork to get that in the system, to get it on the website so you guys can buy it online, or you can just, come in the shop and buy it. Yeah, the whisker, the dashy line thingies, those I think are 15 a meter. So everything's relatively average priced of what we're going for here, which is good. It's been a challenge. I keep getting notices about more prices going up. I know. I'm holding the line as much as I can. And then when I'm done that, I'll reward myself with some super tiny sewing. Oh, right. Last thing, heads up. I had said in the newsletter I have a medical appointment on Thursday, which is tomorrow. I got to go for blood work. I thought it was in the afternoon. It's at 11:45, which Emma will still be here, but then has to leave at 12:30. So there might be a little bit in there where the shop isn't covered, or we might be frantic. So either come before 11:30 or 11 o'clock, or come after 12 or 1. If you get us in the middle, it'll be a little hectic. Eh, if you really want to see me, come after I gotta say, the hospital staff and the nurses there, really, really good. They've been working their butts off. Everything is so efficient. Everybody's been super nice. I've been like extremely grateful for them. Very letting them know just how great they are. It's really actually kind of nice to go into the hospital for tests and stuff, and it's not crowded. I do like that part. Getting very, very good at going to diagnostic imaging, though. I know. There's nothing horribly wrong with me. I'm just old. My doctor likes to check on all these things. But this time for blood work, we're going to check a few more things just to make sure. Awesome. It'll be great. Get to pee in a bottle. I had an ultrasound the other week. I mean, last time I did all this, I had a kid, but this time, I mean, I don't even want a puppy. Anyway, enough about me. I'm going to go clean my kitchen, do some paperwork, maybe do some sewing, find a chocolate bar, hopefully survive my day, serve on any customers that come by, and yeah, gonna sleep really, really well tonight. Maybe go to bed early. Okay, I'm gonna see you all later. Keep your stick on the ice. May your bobbin always be full. May you never run out of thread. While I was sewing, I sewed like I pre-wind a whole bunch of bobbins. I must have done like 12 in a gray. And I used two threads, two spools of threads. One is through the machine, and I put on a second spool with the cone holder, the thread holder thingy, and I use that to wind my bobbins with. So you just put Netflix on, start winding some bobbins, just keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going until you run out of bobbins. So now it's just gray thread for everything. Don't care that they're two different spools or two different shades of gray. Doesn't matter. But my bobbins still ran out, and I sewed like this far before I realized it. Oops. Oh well. I'm gonna go do something. You have a great day. I will see you later. Maybe today, maybe Friday. Who knows? All right. And a happy St. Patrick's Day. Love ya. See you later. Chocolate and shenanigans. I am on the hunt for chocolate now. I'm shutting down. I'm saying goodbye, Mom. Yeah, Mom, I'm hanging up now. Okay.